Hello everyone, welcome back to DSA design series. So today in this video, we are going to implement stack using two queues. Okay, we are going to implement this myStack class using two queues. We have to implement this push function, we have to implement this pop function, we have to implement this top function, and we have to implement this empty function. Okay, so now let's go to whiteboard and understand it better. Okay, now we have to implement these four functionalities of stack with the help of two queues, right? So first I'm going to draw two queues here. This is queue number 1 and this is queue number 2. Okay, let us call this queue the main queue and let us call this the helper queue. Okay, in queue, we push values from the back and we take out values from the front. Okay, I'm also going to make a stack on the side just to give you the perspective how things work in the stack, and then we are going to implement the same thing with the help of these two queues. Okay, so let me draw stack on the side. So this is our stack. Okay, this is our stack ST. So let us first talk about this push function. If I want to push value into a stack, I will push value from the top and I'm also going to pop value from the top, right? So let me push 1 first. So I've pushed 1. Now I'm going to push 2. I'm going to push 3. And after that, I'm going to push 4. So now 4 is at the top, right? Because it is the last value which we have pushed. Now I have to implement the same functionality with the help of these two queues. How can I do that? I will simply just push value into my main queue. Okay, I'm going to push 1 from the back. I'm going to push 2 from the back. I'm going to push 3 from the back. I'm going to push 4 from the back. Done. It was that simple. Okay, so we know how to implement this push function. Now let us talk about this empty function. This boolean empty function returns true if the stack is empty or false otherwise. So if my stack is empty, which is not the case right now, if my stack was empty, my boolean function will return what? True. But my stack is not empty, so this is going to return, this function will return false here. Okay, now how can I implement this with the help of these queues? I can just simply check my main queue. If my main queue is not empty, I will return false. If my main queue is empty, I'm going to return true. So my main queue is not empty, I will return false here. Okay, done. So we know how to implement this function also. Now let us talk about this pop function. Because if we want to implement this pop and top function, we will need the help of this helper queue. Okay. Okay. So let us see how this pop function works for this queue. Okay. This pop function removes the element of the top of the stack and returns it. Okay. This pop function returns this 4 and also removes this 4 from the top of the stack. Okay, removes this 4 from the top of the stack and returns 4. Now we have to implement this with the help of these two queues. Okay. Okay, if I need to remove 4, I have to access this 4. But how can I access this 4? Because I cannot access value from the back. In queues, we can only access values from the front, right? So I have to access this 4. Let's see how we can do that. Okay, first I'm going to take out this first one. I'm going to take out this 1 from my main queue. I'm going to push it to my helper queue. Similarly, I'm going to take out this 2 from the main queue. I'm going to push this 2 into my helper queue. Similarly, take out this 3, push it into the helper queue. Now, we are only left with 4 in our main queue, right? We are only left with 4. If this is the only value we have in our main queue, it means it is the topmost value. If we talk about stack, if we talk in terms of stack, this is the topmost value, right? So if we have only one value in our main queue, I'm going to make a variable val. I'm going to give this value to my variable val, and then I'm going to pop out this 4 from here. Okay, after doing this, I'm going to swap these queues. Now this is my main queue and this is my helper queue. After swapping, I can just return this val. So now you can see in my main queue, I have popped out this 4. I have popped out this 4 And now I also have a variable name val, which stores the value 4, and I can return this val, right? So we have successfully implemented this pop function. Done, right? Now let us talk about this top function. Okay. If we talk about this top function, what this top function do? It returns the element on the top of the stack. So if we talk about in terms of stack, this function will return this 3. Okay, this function will not pop out 3 this time. It will just return 3. Okay, it will just return 3. Now we have to implement this. Okay, so let me erase this first. This is my main function and this is my helper function now. Okay, we will do the same thing. We will take out 1 from here. We will push it to our helper queue. We will take out 2 from here. We will push it to our helper queue. Now we are only left with 1 value in our main queue, right? I'm gonna make a variable val. I'm gonna assign this 3 to this val. Then I'm gonna take out this 3, and this time I'm gonna push it to my helper queues. Okay, after doing this, I'm gonna swap my queues. Now this is helper and this is main. Done. Now we can just return this val, and we have successfully implemented this top function. Okay, so it was easy, right? Now I'm gonna code the same thing line by line. Okay, let's go. First, I need to make 2 queues, right? So I'm gonna make 2 queue of type int. The name of my first queue is main, and the name of my second queue is what? Helper. HELPER. Okay. Now let's talk about this constructor function first. Do I need to make any changes to my queue? No. So I will do nothing here. Okay, I will do nothing here. Let's talk about this push function. So how can I push value into my stack? By pushing value into my main queue, right? So I will just do main dot push what x. Done. Okay. Now let us implement this empty function. Okay. So if my main dot empty, if my main queue is empty, then we will return what? True. Otherwise, we will just return false. If my main queue is empty, we'll return true. If it is not empty, we'll return false. Now let us implement this pop function. Okay. Let me draw side by side also. Let me draw those queues side by side so we'll understand it better. So we have, this is my main queue. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my helper. Okay, HELPER. So we will take out value from here and we'll push it here. Take out this value from here, we'll push it here. Take out this value from here, we'll push it here. Okay. Now we are only left with 1 value here. Okay. So we have to implement this first. So while my main dot size, the size of my main queue is greater than 1, we will take out the value from here and we will push it into our helper queue, right? So helper dot push what? Main dot front. Okay, then we will pop the value from front. Okay, done. Now we have to store this value, this 4 value, in some variable. Okay, I will create a variable int val and main dot front. So we have stored this value into a variable val. Okay, now I have to pop out this 4. Now I have to pop out this 4. So okay, let's pop out this 4. Main dot pop. Okay, now let's swap these 2 queues. Now this is helper and this is main. Okay, so swap helper, swap main. Okay, now let's just return the val. Okay, let's just return the val. Done. Done. Now I have to implement the top function, right? So it is almost same. It is almost same. So I'm going to copy this code. I'm going to paste it here. Okay, it is almost same. And let me redraw it again. Let me redraw it. So this is what? Main. And this is helper. So we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I have to pop out this one and push it here. I have to take out this 2 and push it here. right? So we are doing the same. Now I have stored this 3 into this variable val, and then I have popped out this 3, right? Now after popping out this 3, we have to push this 3 into our helper queue also, right? So let's do that. Helper dot push what? Val, because we have stored this 3 into a variable named val, right? Okay. Now after doing this, we'll swap both the queues. This is helper and this is main, and then we will just return the val. Done. This is what we have to do here. Okay, now I'm gonna run this code. And now I'm gonna submit this code and I'm gonna watch it getting accepted. Okay. Okay, so it is getting accepted. Yeah, let's talk about the complexity of this code. We can see this push function is just working in O of 1 constant, right? We are just pushing the value into a queue. This is constant. This helper function, this empty function is also constant, because we are just checking whether our main queue is empty or not. But these two functions, these pop function and this top function, the complexity for both of these functions is O of n. Let's say we have n numbers which we are pushing into a queue, okay, and we are iterating over the whole queue. So the complexity of these two functions is O of n. The time complexity of these two functions is O of n. And if you talk about the space complexity of this code, we are taking two queues, and let's say we are pushing n elements, so the space complexity will be O of n also. Okay. If you like my explanation, please like and comment on these videos, because your comment will really motivate me. And please share this video with your friends and your classmates. Okay. And thanks for watching, and keep coding in the next video talks.